Cushing syndrome is one of the most commonly diagnosed canine endocrine disorders. Clinical symptoms include combinations of any or all of the following signs, including potbelly, polydipsia, polyuria, hair loss, recurrent skin disease, thin skin, along with excessive panting, lethargy, and polyphagia. Dogs that are afflicted with Cushing's produce excessive amounts of cortisol, a hormone that normally helps the dog respond to stress. Overproduction of cortisol can have harmful effects on a dog's internal organs and can diminish health and vitality. Cushing syndrome is usually caused by a tumor located on either the pituitary gland or the adrenal glands. Pituitary gland tumors account for approximately 80% of Cushing syndrome cases. These tumors cause the pituitary gland to produce large amounts of the hormone ACTH, which stimulates the adrenal gland to overproduce cortisol. Malignant tumors of the pituitary gland are rare. Adjacent to each kidney are the pea-sized canine adrenal glands. These glands secrete several very important hormones. Adrenal gland tumors account for approximately 20% of Cushing syndrome cases. When tumors develop in either one or both of the adrenal glands, the presence of the tumor causes production of excessive amounts of cortisol. Veterinary hospitals can diagnose Cushing syndrome by performing blood tests to confirm the diagnosis. These typically include a CBC blood chemistry and one or more additional tests, such as the ACTH stimulation test or the low-dose dexamethasone suppression test. Another option would be a urine test to determine the cortisol-creatinine ratio. Cushing syndrome can be treated through the surgical removal of the affected gland. However, a far less invasive option would be to treat the condition using Vetoryl capsules. Vetoryl is the only FDA-approved treatment available for treating pituitary-dependent and adrenal-dependent hyperadrenal corticism. Vetoryl contains the active ingredient trilostane, which blocks the excessive production of cortisol. After treating with Vetoryl, dog owners will see changes in the clinical symptoms that their pet had been exhibiting. Specific examples are dog owners should notice a decrease in their pet's consumption of water and frequency of urination. Their dog's appetite should have returned back to more of a normal nature, and if the dog had been panting excessively, that should also have decreased. Treated dogs should also become more active. 93% of dogs demonstrate an improvement in their overall clinical assessment within 7 weeks after initiating therapy. Prior to FDA approval of Vetoryl, trilostane was only available to veterinary hospitals from pharmacy compounders. On September 11, 2009, the FDA wrote the following letter to the U.S. veterinary profession. In this letter, the FDA said that since Vetoryl was now approved and available for veterinary use in the U.S., trilostane should not be imported from other countries or compounded from bulk. The FDA went on to say that each FDA-approved animal drug goes through a rigorous evaluation process and prior to approval is clinically tested for safety and effectiveness in the target animal species. In addition, the FDA thoroughly inspects and evaluates the adequacy of the manufacturing process to ensure that the drug's identity, strength, quality, and purity are preserved. The FDA continues to monitor the drug's quality and safety after it is approved. An animal drug that is compounded from bulk drug ingredients is not FDA approved, and therefore the safety and effectiveness of the compounded drug as well as the adequacy of the manufacturing process, have not been evaluated. The FDA closed by saying that in prescribing FDA-approved Vetoryl to treat Cushing's disease, you are providing your clients and their dogs with the only trilostane product that has demonstrated safety and effectiveness in dogs, and whose manufacturing process has met the FDA standards for quality, purity, and potency. Vetoryl is available in 4 different strengths, and that includes the new 120 mg strength. All sizes are available for immediate shipment should you decide to order today. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Vetoryl capsules from Decra Animal Health.